My dad drained my college fund to start a business without telling me. He didn't expect I would expose his lies and ruin his grand opening in front of everyone who ever believed in him. I'm still reeling from it all, wondering if I went too far, if I truly ruined a relationship that was already beyond repair, or if I just finally stood up for myself in a way I never thought I could. Tell me honestly if you would have done the same thing, because I'm still wrestling with the guilt, even though I know, deep down, he deserved it. It all started subtly, or so I thought at the time. My whole life, my parents had drilled into me the importance of a good education. My dad, especially, was always talking about how he regretted not going to a four-year university, how it limited his opportunities, and how he wanted a better life for me. He worked 2 jobs for years, and my mom, bless her heart, was always meticulously saving every extra penny. The college fund wasn't just a phrase in our house, it was practically a sacred entity. Every birthday card with money, every holiday gift from a distant relative, it all went into that fund. I even worked part-time jobs through high school, meticulously adding my own earnings, dreaming of the day I'd finally get to college and make them proud. I remember distinctly, when I was about 10, my dad showing me the passbook, explaining how the interest compounded, how every dollar was growing, securing my future. He'd say, "This is for you, kiddo. This is your ticket to whatever you want to be." Those words echoed in my mind for years, a constant source of comfort and motivation. I was always a good student, always pushing myself, knowing that this huge financial safety net was waiting for me. I pictured myself at a beautiful campus, studying something I loved, not burdened by student loans, all thanks to my diligent, hardworking parents. My relationship with my dad wasn't always perfect, but it was generally good. He was a stern man, a bit old-fashioned, but I always saw him as a protector, a provider. He had a way of making you feel secure, like he had everything under control. He was the kind of dad who would fix anything, build anything, and always seemed to have an answer for everything. That's why, when things started to unravel, it felt like the very ground beneath me was shifting. The first sign, in hindsight, was his sudden obsession with entrepreneurship. He started watching endless documentaries about successful business moguls, buying books on startups, and talking constantly about his big idea. For months, it was all he could talk about. He'd sketch out business plans on napkins, stay up late researching, and call various contractors. My mom was initially supportive, a little wary, but mostly excited for him. She'd say, "Your father's always dreamed of this, honey. He deserves a chance to build something of his own." I was happy for him too, of course. I thought it was just a hobby, something he'd put her with on the weekends, maybe invest a little of his own savings into. Never once did it cross my mind that my future was on the line. His idea was a specialized carpentry business, focusing on custom, handcrafted furniture. He was good with his hands, no doubt about it. He had built me a beautiful treehouse when I was a kid and could fix practically anything around the house. So, the concept itself wasn't outlandish. What was outlandish was the scale. He wasn't talking about a small workshop in the garage. He was talking about renting a commercial space, buying expensive machinery, hiring staff, and a full-blown marketing campaign. My mom started to get nervous. I overheard them arguing a few times, hushed whispers late at night. She was asking about the financing, where the money was coming from. He was vague, dismissive, saying things like, "Don't worry your pretty little head, I've got it handled." I just assumed he had secured a small business loan, or was using a substantial portion of his own retirement savings. He had always been financially conservative, so it seemed plausible he had a nest egg I didn't know about. Then came the grand opening. He worked tirelessly for months, neglecting almost everything else. Our house became a ghost town as he spent all his waking hours at the new workshop. He was beaming, radiating pride. He invited everyone, family, friends, distant relatives, local dignitaries, potential clients. It was going to be a huge event, a lavish affair with catering, a ribbon, cutting ceremony, and speeches. He even asked me to help out, to greet guests and hand out brochures. I was proud of him, truly. I saw how much effort he had poured into it, and I wanted him to succeed. I thought, this is his dream, and he's finally making it happen. I remember helping him polish the display pieces, admiring the intricate details, the smooth finishes. He looked at me, a glint in his eye, and said, "This is going to change everything for us, kiddo. Our whole future is looking up." I smiled back, oblivious to the cruel irony of his words. The hammer blow came completely unexpectedly. I had just received my acceptance letter to my top choice university, a dream come true. I was ecstatic, practically vibrating with excitement. I ran to my parents, waving the letter in the air. My mom hugged me tight, tears in her eyes. My dad patted me on the back, a proud smile on his face. We talked about next steps, about applying for housing, about the orientation weekend. That night, after everyone had gone to bed, I decided to do a little research into scholarships, just to see if I could ease the burden a bit, even though I knew the college fund was there. Out of curiosity, I decided to check the balance of the college fund account online. My parents had given me the login details years ago, encouraging me to monitor its growth. I typed in the username and password, my heart fluttering with anticipation, and that's when I saw it. The balance was 0, not a low balance, not a significantly reduced balance. 0, a big, fat, impossible 0. My breath caught in my throat. I refreshed the page, thinking it was a glitch. I checked the transaction history. Page after page of withdrawals, all in large, round figures, all within the last 6 months. And the descriptions: transfer to Dad's Business Ventures LLC, business startup capital. Equipment purchase. It was all there, laid bare in cold, hard digital print. Every single penny, my entire future, gone. Siphoned off, without a word, without a warning. I felt a cold dread spread through my veins, quickly followed by a searing, white, hot rage. I couldn't confront him that night. I was shaking too much, too overwhelmed by a mixture of shock, betrayal, and a deep, soul-crushing sadness. I spent the entire night staring at the ceiling. VALIDATION replace every, nicking me, every proud declaration about my future, every timeshin he told me the SMONSEYE was SSION for me. It all felt like a sick, elaborate lie. The next morning, I confronted my mom first. I showed her the online statement, my voice trembling. Her face went pale, then red. She looked like she was going to cry. I knew he was using some asterisk of it. She whispered, but he swore he was putting it back, that it was just a short-term loan until he got the business off the ground. He promised, honey. Her words did little to soothe me. If anything, it made it worse. She knew. She had some inkling, and she didn't stop him, didn't tell me. The betrayal felt complete. I asked her, how could he do this? How could you let him do this? She just shook her head, tears streaming down her face. He was so confident, so sure this would make us rich, that it would be better for everyone in the long run. Better for everyone. My future was gone. My dreams were shattered. How was this better for everyone? When my dad came home that evening, I was waiting. My mom was nowhere to be seen, having retreated to her room, probably dreading the inevitable confrontation. I held out my phone, the bank statement glowing accusingly. "What is this, Dad?" I asked, my voice surprisingly steady, despite the hurricane raging inside me. He looked at the phone, then at me. His face, usually so confident, crumpled slightly. He tried to brush it off. "Oh, it's just a temporary thing, sweetie. The business needed a little boost. I'll pay it back with interest. Think of it as an investment in our family's future." His casual tone, his dismissive hand wave, fueled my anger even more. An investment in our family's future. That was my future, Dad. That was my college fund. The money you promised me, the money I worked for, the money you said was untouchable. I was shouting now, tears finally breaking free and streaming down my face. He tried to calm me, tried to put his hand on my shoulder, but I recoiled. "Don't touch me. You stole from me, Dad. You stole my chance at a better life, all for some pipe dream." He started to get defensive, his own anger rising. "It's not stealing. I'm your father. Everything I have is for this family. This business is going to make us rich, richer than any college degree ever could. You're being ungrateful. Ungrateful. That word hit me like a physical blow. Ungrateful, after he had literally taken away everything I had worked for, everything I had been promised. My dream, my security, all vanished in a puff of his entrepreneurial smoke. He genuinely believed he was doing me a favor, that his gamble would somehow magically replace what he had taken, and then some. He truly couldn't see the depth of his betrayal. He thought I should just trust him, just wait patiently while he played with my future. But I couldn't trust him anymore. The trust was shattered into a million pieces. He was already planning his grand opening, inviting everyone, projecting an image of success and ambition, while behind the scenes he had left me utterly stranded. My acceptance letter felt like a cruel joke in my hands. How was I supposed to go to college now? How was I supposed to afford tuition, books, living expenses? I had nothing, and he thought I was ungrateful for being upset about it. So that's the situation I was in, and I had to make a choice. Here I was, less than a week away from his big grand opening, the event where he would bask in the glory of his supposed achievement, an achievement built on the ashes of my dreams. I had to decide if I would let him get away with it, if I would swallow my pain and pretend everything was fine, or if I would do something, anything, to make him understand the gravity of what he had done. Before I tell you what happened next, I want you to pause and comment below what you would have done in my shoes. Would you have let it go, hoping he'd pay it back eventually? Would you have confronted him privately again? Or would you have done something more drastic? I am truly curious to hear your thoughts, because in that moment my mind was a whirlwind of emotions, and the path I chose felt like the only one available. I spent the next few days in a fog of despair and resentment. My dad acted as if nothing had happened, focusing solely on the final preparations for his grand opening. He was calling people, confirming attendance, beaming with pride. My mom tried to talk to me, tried to mediate, but I just couldn't bring myself to engage. She kept saying, "Give him a chance, honey. He'll make it right." But how? How could he make it right when my tuition payment was due in a few months and the money was gone? There was no quick fix. This wasn't a temporary loan. This was a complete drain, and his business wasn't even generating revenue yet. The thought of standing there at his grand opening, smiling politely while he accepted accolades, knowing the truth, knowing the cost of his success, made my stomach churn. I felt a cold, hard resolve begin to form inside me. He had used my future as his seed money, and he was about to celebrate that gamble in front of everyone. He wouldn't get to do it without acknowledging the damage he had caused. The day of the grand opening arrived, bright and sunny, a perfect day for a celebration. Guests started arriving in the late afternoon. The workshop was beautifully decorated. A string quartet played soft music, and there was a delicious spread of food. My dad was in his element, shaking hands, laughing, accepting congratulations. He looked like the proudest man alive. I stood by the entrance as instructed, trying to paste a polite smile on my face, but inside I was a coiled spring, vibrating with a mixture of fear and determination. Relatives I hadn't seen in years came up to me, praising my dad, saying things like, "Your father is such an inspiration, so brave to chase his dreams." Each compliment felt like a fresh stab. Then came the moment for the official ribbon cutting. A small crowd gathered around the main entrance. My dad stood proudly beside a large, custom-made wooden sign bearing his business's name. The local mayor was there, holding a giant pair of ceremonial scissors. My dad cleared his throat, ready to give his speech. He started by thanking everyone for coming, talking about his lifelong dream, his passion for craftsmanship, and how this business was the culmination of years of hard work and sacrifice. He spoke about providing a better future for his family, about leaving a legacy, and that was it. That was the line that snapped something inside me. A better future for his family. The hypocrisy was too much to bear. As he paused, taking a breath before continuing, I stepped forward, my heart pounding so hard I thought it would burst through my chest. The microphone was still on the stand, right next to him. I reached for it, my hand shaking slightly, and pulled it towards me. My dad looked at me, a surprised smile on his face, probably thinking I was going to offer a heartfelt tribute. The crowd looked on expectantly. I took a deep breath, looking directly at my dad, whose smile slowly began to falter as he saw the raw pain and anger in my eyes. "Thank you, Dad," I began, my voice clear and surprisingly strong, "for that beautiful speech about hard work, sacrifice, and securing a better future for your family." A few murmurs of agreement from the crowd. My dad shifted uncomfortably. "It's truly inspiring," I continued, "to see someone chase their dreams with such passion." I paused, letting the words hang in the air. Then I looked out at the assembled guests, at the faces of our friends, our family, people who admired my dad. "But what my father hasn't mentioned," I said, my voice rising slightly, "is the cost of that dream, the real cost." The murmuring stopped. A sudden, tense silence fell over the workshop. My dad's face went from surprise to ashen. He tried to grab the microphone, but I pulled it back, holding it tight. "You say—" I pressed on, my voice trembling now, but I couldn't stop. While my father was building his dream business, he was simultaneously dismantling mine. He was so focused on his legacy that he completely drained my college fund, every single penny, the money that was supposed to secure my future, to pay for my education, to give me the opportunities he always said he wanted for me. It's all gone, transferred into this business, without a word, without a warning. Gasps erupted from the crowd. My mom, who had just emerged from the back, clutched her mouth, her eyes wide with horror. My dad stood there, frozen, his face a mask of shock and fury. "I received my acceptance letter to my dream university last week," I continued, tears finally flowing freely down my cheeks, "and now I have no way to pay for it. He took my future, my security, my ability to choose my own path, all to fund this gamble. He talked about sacrifice, but the sacrifice wasn't his, it was mine. My dreams, my hard work, my future, all extinguished so he could stand here today, basking in the glory of his own ambition." I looked around at the stunned faces, some filled with pity, some with anger, some with outright disbelief. My dad finally snapped out of his stupor. He lunged for the microphone, shouting, "That's enough. Stop this. You're ruining everything." But I wasn't done. Was I wrong for calling him out? I asked the silent crowd, my voice raw with emotion. Was I wrong for wanting my future back, or was he wrong for taking it without a second thought? With that, I dropped the microphone, the metallic thud echoing loudly in the sudden, deafening silence. I didn't wait for a response. I turned and walked out of the workshop, past the stunned guests, past my horrified mother, past my furious, humiliated father, and didn't look back. The aftermath was, to put it mildly, a disaster. The grand opening quickly dissolved into chaos. Guests left in a hurry, whispering, looking back at my dad with a mixture of pity and judgment. His grand debut was ruined, overshadowed by the raw, public airing of his betrayal. My mom called me later that night, crying, begging me to come home, to talk to my dad. She said he was heartbroken, furious, and utterly humiliated. I couldn't bring myself to go back. I stayed with a friend for a few days, trying to figure out what to do next. The news spread like wildfire through our extended family and social circles. Some condemned me for embarrassing him, saying I should have handled it privately. Others, however, stood firmly by me, saying my dad got what he deserved. My dad's business, predictably, struggled from the start. The initial buzz was gone, replaced by a dark cloud of scandal. Few clients wanted to associate with someone who was publicly revealed to have exploited his own child's trust. Within a few months, the grand workshop was empty, the dream utterly shattered. He tried to reach out, to apologize, to explain. He even offered to start paying me back, a tiny fraction at a time, but it felt too little, too late. The trust was gone, and the damage was done. I ended up deferring my university acceptance for a year, working full-time, saving every penny I could, trying to rebuild what he had so carelessly destroyed. It's been incredibly hard, emotionally and financially. My relationship with my dad is still fractured, a gaping wound that might never truly heal. My mom is caught in the middle, trying to mend fences, but even she struggles to reconcile with his actions. I lost a future I thought was guaranteed, and in its place I gained a harsh lesson about trust, ambition, and the true cost of chasing dreams at someone else's expense. Was it worth it to expose him and ruin his business? Part of me regrets the public spectacle, the sheer emotional devastation it caused. But another part, the part that felt utterly helpless and betrayed, knows that I couldn't have remained silent. I had to stand up for myself, even if it meant tearing down the very person who was supposed to protect me. I think about it almost every day, wondering if there was another way, a less destructive path. But when someone takes everything from you, sometimes all you have left is your voice and the courage to use it. So that's my story. It's messy, it's painful, and it's far from over. I'm still picking up the pieces, still trying to build my own future from scratch. Like this video if you were on my side, if you think I did the right thing in a truly impossible situation. Subscribe for more stories like this, because I promise there are always more twists and turns in life's journey. And please share your final thoughts on this whole mess in the comments section below. I truly want to know what you think. I'll see you all in the next story.